Hello and welcome to our second module. 欢迎来我们第二堂课。No bones about it. Oh, look at that kitty. Doesn't it look excited to be having its dinner? Oh, a plate of vegetables? Would you raise your pet on a vegan diet? Let's find out more. Should you be feeding your pets meat? While meat has been the staple diet for many dogs and cats for time immemorial, a growing group of pet owners say it's not morally acceptable. These vegan pet owners are extending their morality to their pets and feeding them plant-based foods instead. Oh, wow, yes. Look at that. There's a bag of vegan cat food. No fish for this little kitty. The staple diet for many dogs and cats for time immemorial. What does time immemorial mean? It simply means so far back in time, no one can remember when it began. Hence the term immemorial means beyond memory or predating memory. You could even say prehistoric. So far back in time, we don't know when it began. Now, let's look at our first key word, vegan. Vegan is a diet which contains no dairy. Vegan is a word to describe a diet containing no dairy or meat. So, dairy includes cheeses, milks, eggs. These are foods that come from animals. And of course, meat is the animal itself. So, if you are on a vegan diet, you don't eat any of these things. So, vegan can be used as an adjective, but it can also be used as a noun to mean a person who is on a vegan diet. A vegan diet is different from a vegetarian diet. A vegetarian diet is a diet that contains no meat, but vegetarians can eat dairy. So you can say vegan diet, but you can also use vegan as an adjective to describe other things. For example, a vegan restaurant. A vegan recipe. Can you think of one more? Say it now. Let's keep going. The trend began around the year 2000, when dog and cat bloggers began raising concerns about feeding pets processed kibble, believing homemade organic foods could promote longevity. Okay, let's look at our first key word here. Kibble. What is kibble? Kibble means pelleted pet food. Pelleted simply means made up of little pellets, 就是小小的一块一块. Kibble usually comes in a big bag and is dry. So let's think of some different kinds of kibble. 譬如说, cat kibble, dog kibble. Can you think of one more? Say it now. Our next keyword is longevity. What does longevity mean? So if you have longevity, it simply means you have a long life. 中文就会说长寿. There are many animals that are known for their longevity. For example, the longevity of turtles. The longevity of elephants. Can you think of one more? Say it now. But vegan pet parents aren't simply concerned about their own pet's health and well-being. They're often environmentalists who care about the earth. And since pet food causes roughly 1/4 of all the environmental impacts of meat production, they want it to stop. Right, so it's not just to help their pets, but also to help the earth. Now, let's look at our next key word, environmentalists. What is an environmentalist? An environmentalist is simply someone who cares about environmental protection. 中文就会说环保主义者。Environmentalists may care about all sorts of environmental things. For example, environmentalists care for rainforests. Environmentalists care for orangutans. What else do environmentalists care for? Say one now. But before you join them and raise your pet meat-free, it's important to consider what effect this could have. Yes, that's right. It may be good for the earth, but the question is it good for your pet? Let's find out more. There is widespread criticism from some in the scientific community who say that raising dogs, and especially cats, on a vegan diet could put their health at risk. While dogs are omnivores and could theoretically survive on a vegetarian diet, cats are carnivores and need meat. So there may be health risks associated with this diet. But hang on, what's an omnivore? And what's a carnivore? An omnivore is simply an animal that eats meat and vegetables. 中文就是杂食动物. Let's think of some examples now. Bears are omnivores. Pigs are omnivores. Can you think of one more? Say it now. Now, what about carnivores? Well, a carnivore is an animal that eats meat only. 中文就会说肉食动物. Can you think of some carnivores? Let's see now. Tigers are carnivores. Eagles are carnivores. Can you think of one more? Say it now. You're doing so well, you know. You're learning so much. Let's keep going now. A vegan diet could lead to a shortage in iron, amino acids, and other minerals, which are important for maintaining a cat's eyesight and immune system. Oh dear, that doesn't sound too good, does it? Now, let's look at our next key word here. Shortage. What does this mean? To have a shortage just means to be insufficient in something, to not have enough of something. Similar words include lack, deficiency, and deficit, among others. So you could have a shortage in all sorts of minerals. For example, a shortage in calcium, a shortage in vitamin C. What else could you have a shortage in? Say it now. But hang on a moment. What are minerals anyway? This is our next key word. Minerals simply means a chemical element that is needed for a healthy body. 中文就会说矿物质。Let's think of some examples now. Potassium is a mineral. Zinc is a mineral. Can you think of one more? Say it now. In the UK, the Animal Welfare Act states that owners could face a hefty fine or even a jail sentence if their cats become malnourished from this diet. Oh, that sounds pretty serious, right? But hang on, what does malnourished mean? This is our next key word. Malnourished is a condition when a body lacks needed nutrients. Malnourished is the opposite of nourished, which means you are eating a healthy diet full of different kinds of nutrients. All kinds of pets could become malnourished if they're not fed properly. Let's think of some examples now. A malnourished rabbit. A malnourished horse. Can you think of one more? Say it now. While current vegan pet food may lack these vital nutritional elements, this may be about to change. Due to rising demand, researchers are hard at work creating improved versions. So perhaps nutritious vegan pet food is on the way. Let's look at our next key word. Elements. When we talk about nutritional elements, we simply mean chemical elements that are contained in food. 中文就会说元素。Elements are very similar to minerals. They are the nutrients we need for a healthy, functioning body. Let's think of some elements now. Elements like sodium. Elements like magnesium. What other elements can you think of? Say one now. Let's keep going now. Whether or not they can create vegan pet food which contains all the elements dogs and cats need remains to be seen. Perhaps in the near future, a vegan diet may be viable for our four-legged friends too. So these researchers are hard at work to create really healthy, nutritious vegan pet food. Do you think it's possible? Let's now look back over our 10 key words from this module. Are you ready? Repeat them after me. Vegan. Kibble. Longevity. Environmentalists. Omnivores. Carnivores. Shortage. Minerals. Malnourished. Elements. That brings us to the end of Module 2. Oh, here we can see a dog and a cat sitting at the table, ready to have their meal. Which meal do you think they'd prefer? Now, don't forget to do the review quiz. and you can move on to the next module whenever you are ready.